Hello, James, and welcome back to another Monday update. Got my Nikon ZFC set up over here, and then my iPhone right here using the SnapBridge app. So now I can do recordings, hopefully a lot smoother, because I don't have to noodle around with the camera over there. Anywho, sweet haul there you got. The Criterion sales or something I should start looking into maybe. um, Seems like they've been doing that for a long time at Barnes & Noble. Or I don't know if is that a Barnes & Noble thing or a Criterion thing. Anywho, speaking of sales and DVDs, I guess my wife is signed up for email newsletters through Half Price Books, and we've got two pretty close by. One really close by here in Olympia, but it's a smaller one, and they don't do trade-ins. So sometimes when we do trade-ins, we go up, or sometimes whenever we do trade-ins, we go up to Tacoma. They have a lot bigger store, and it's pretty nice. But they were doing like books, CDs, movies, everything was $1. So we went over there, and we went there about a half hour early, thinking it's going to be crowded, $1. It was a pretty big line, and there was people lining up after us. And when I got in there, it took me forever to get to the like horror section, which was only one little shelf. But it was like scoot by this way or that. But I got a couple movies for $1, and one of them is The Ninth Gate, directed by Roman Polanski, and it actually has a feature commentary with the director, as well as some other features. Basically, I like to look around for commentaries, I guess. So, thought that was a good deal for $1. It's in pretty decent shape. And another one. This is a 2-disc special edition with a commentary, of course. It's Anthony Hopkins and in Hannibal, directed by Ridley Scott, with a feature commentary by, where is it? I'm pretty sure it's Ridley Scott. Feature-length commentary by director Ridley Scott. It also has over 35 minutes of deleted scenes with optional director commentary and a never-before-seen alternate ending with director commentary. And it's also got some other features, so thought that was a pretty good... over there. Pretty good deal for $1. Pretty awesome. Now, this other one I have not seen, but I asked my wife about it because I know she's seen it. And I know it's, it says Steven Spielberg Presents. So I guess he was a producer maybe on it. Anywho, I don't know a whole lot about this film other than, films that are well known enough, you just know about them. But I asked my wife and she said, yeah, it's worth $1. So, Gremlins. And I got it also because A, just seems like a film I should probably watch just to, if nothing else, kind of know about it more. But B, it's got 2 commentary tracks. Director Joe and Zach. Kate. A couple people. Director, producer. Ooh, the second commentary has special effects artist Chris Whale. So it looks like looks like the director's on both commentaries. Got a couple other people, and then the second commentary track does have the director as well, with the producer and the special effects artist. So cool to hear about special effects from the mid 80s, 1984. So have to check that out. And love me some commentaries. So yeah, there's my splurge of $3 this week on movies. Other than that, I've got a whole stack of library films, and then I've been not watching them because I'm like, I better watch up a lot of HBO stuff. I think we're gonna have it for another month-ish. See how much more stuff there is to watch. But yeah, trying to watch a lot of stuff while trying to think on how to make something decent. I've spent a lot of I spend a pretty minimal time on like app stuff these days because I don't find it enjoyable, and it's not all that profitable. So if anyone that's watching this is not James, I kind of taught myself code and I did freelance contracts for a while. And then more recently, I've just got, an app store page where I have like basically one app that really makes any money, but it brings in, 70 to 100, maybe 150 a month. So not a ton, but I mean, that's a bill or two or part of a larger bill. So it's something. It has helped pay for my new camera and a few things. So it's not nothing, but it makes that money, it seems, whether if I work on it or not. And I've spent the last few months working on trying to put out more updates or do little fixes. And I was trying to work on doing like a rebuild and like make it better because I don't really care for the app all that much. The first version did everything I wanted, and then it kind of got other features and things added to it because people requested that and because I also wanted to charge money for it. So, but I'm kind of like blah with it, and I don't think it's going all that far. And I thought, even though it technically doesn't take up a lot of my time because I don't do a lot with it, it does take up a lot of like my mental time of I'm at work, in the mornings I'm doing UPS loading trucks. Doesn't require too much mental capacity if you can get the right box and the right truck on the right shelf and have it somewhat sequenced. They don't seem to mind. So I've been thinking about the app a lot, trying to think, I know some people make like 20 or 1,000 or more a month on apps, and I was trying to get there because I was like, then I could just work on movies, in theory, because, the app would be minimal maintenance, but, I'm just kind of burnt out with app stuff. And I was like, you know what? As of right now, it's not bringing in a ton. So if I could spend the same amount of activity or thought towards films, which I do find interesting, and I've been enjoying watching and getting back into movies again, could I make better movies, better short films, more longer form content, something with more story instead of just like, right now it's all like someone's alone. Oh, there's something in the house. Is it a toilet or a killer with a knife? Like, I don't know. It's random. Or smiley face thing. It's really, really, really basic. So my idea is, could I focus that energy on films for the next 6 months and see if I could make YouTube bring in 100, 70 to 150-ish a month. And that way kind of replace app development. Because I'm, like I said, just kind of blah with it. But yeah, that's the focus. So picking up cheap movies. I guess if you have a half-price books near you, maybe some of them do these dollar days occasionally. First time I've heard about it. Good way to get cheap DVDs. I saw Blu-rays there too, but I didn't see any good ones. But again, it was crowded, and I mainly stuck to the horror section, which was one shelf, and that took me a bit to get to because it's like squeezing in between everyone. I'm like, excuse me. But it did seem like they had more DVDs than Blu-rays. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at the book section. Kids looked at the book section and they didn't find what they were looking for. But I think they were looking for like manga or something. Anywho, hopefully that was informative on what I'm kind of generally working on or what I'm getting to. I'll have to check these commentaries out. Be interesting. Have to go through and sort through what films I'm watching and get more focused because I probably have like 10 movies from the library and I'm getting distracted with HBO stuff. I've been watching It, Welcome to Derry. I keep on wanting to say Derry Lane, but Derry's the name of the town, which I think is a fictional town in somewhere out in the east where Stephen King's from, because it's a Stephen King thing. I've been watching a lot of Stephen King stuff, seems like. I watched Salem's Lot. It's the newer, I think HBO actually made it. It's a movie, but it's HBO, I think. And I do have the Blu-ray Salem's Lot coming from the library. brings me back to I need to watch library stuff too, or just stop picking up movies. It's crazy. But I'm gonna put these down here. Yeah, I'm gonna check out the old '70s one, which I think's the same director as Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But the new one I liked. It was, it was cheesy, funny. Felt very much. I didn't know much about Salem's Lot, the book, but it felt like a more modern being 1970s. I think it said 70s, or 80. No, it must have been earlier than 80s because the film was made in 70s. Anywho, yeah, modern-ish film, for the more modern than Dracula, but it felt like a Dracula story, right? And there's someone that's under control of the vampire. They bring over the vampire, and vampire starts eating or sucking people dry or whatever vampires do. But and it's just kind of campy, cheesy, fun stuff. So, which I'm all for that. So I'll have to check out the original here hopefully soon. But hopefully expect more uploads from me. Hopefully more in the short film category. And I do want to do more. I do want to show technical stuff. I've been getting subscribers from my DaVinci videos, but I'm like, I don't want to go down the route of people like subscribing to my channel and stuff, and then they want, technical stuff. I would much prefer that my channel got more known for like short films and feature films and episodic stuff, and then having technical behind the scenes. I did on that $1 day at Half Price Books, I did look for the Lord of the Rings box sets. I used to have the box sets, and I don't remember the movies all that much, honestly. I watched them more for the special features. I think I did see the first 2 or so in theaters. Maybe I've seen all 3 of them in theaters. I don't remember. Yeah, I loved a lot of the behind the scenes back then. They weren't like enough in depth, like, hey, follow along, but they were in depth enough I feel like more so than, I don't know. Maybe I just need to find more stuff, but I feel like, yeah, again, I think I've said this before. Movies with more in-depth features, behind-the-scenes features that hopefully are informative to people that are into movie making. So that's my rant. I don't know how long I've been recording. About 12 minutes, I think. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I think I should be off the rest of the day. Or from my other work. So I'm going to try to focus on writing a script maybe, or watching some movies, because that's research. Plus we paid for HBO Max for a month. So, but yeah, hopefully get another short film up here soon. Thanks for watching, and until next time, ta-ta.